Hola. So I've been saying for weeks now that in the context of shamatha we have this pyramid, and there is something sequential about it, or hierarchical about it, in the sense of the foundation being the sense of ease, relaxation. You know it so well, right? You can predict everything I'm about to say. But that foundation of ease, of looseness, and relaxation, just the opposite of being uptight. And then on that basis, the composure, the stillness, the continuity, the quiet, single-pointedness. And then on top of the pyramid, the clarity, the vividness, the acuity. That's just within the context of shamatha, right? And then, of course, there's the synergy among all three. When the wheel of shamatha really gets rolling, then they're all reinforcing each other. We turn to Vipashyana, and it's very clear, I think, obvious to all of us by now, that the practice of Vipashyana is all up there on the top of the pyramid, right? It's all sharp. In fact, there's four, and in practicing Vipashyana, we are actually cultivating a psychological factor known as prajna. And in just Buddhist psychology, when dealing with the 51 mental factors, prajna there simply means discerning intelligence. Doesn't have some lofty connotation like wisdom. It's just discerning intelligence, being sharp. But then when you cultivate it to its perfection, then we translate it as perfection of wisdom. So when intelligence is matured, bearing in mind, just a brief tangent here, there is such a thing, it's enormously important actually, that intelligence is not a virtue. It's not a virtue. It all depends on who are the companions of intelligence. And that is, if the companion of intelligence is egotism, arrogance, hatred, then the intelligence is like a mercenary. And it goes fully into the service of mental afflictions. And that's called sharap nyomonchen, afflictive intelligence. And the better you are at it, the more intelligent you are, the more damage you do to yourself and to everybody else. Yeah? So that's why intelligence is not simply a virtue, because it's a mercenary. It can be just to make cooler video games, which is nothing wrong with it, I suppose, although some of them are pretty nasty, I guess. But then that would just be ethically neutral intelligence, just perpetuating the same old, just more video games. And then, of course, there's virtuous intelligence. So Vipassana is really all about cultivating intelligence and leading it to wisdom so that it comes to full flower, of course, in the context of virtue, to wisdom, perfection of wisdom. And it may be of interest, just very briefly, that in the cultivation of intelligence, there are four kinds. I learned this a long time ago when I was in Switzerland. In fact, Geshe Rabin gave me a practice that was all about cultivating four types of intelligence. I remember it to this day. And the four types are sharp intelligence. And we say that in English, I think in other European languages. Such and such a person really sharp. Yeah, sharp intelligence. Fast. Some people are really quick. Really, really quick. Right? Nimble. Fast. And then the next Tibetan term is dangsel. Pretty much means clear. Clear intelligence. Lucid. Clear and lucid. Crystal clear. Sometimes if somebody's giving a talk on a very difficult topic, and they say, now, tutto chiaro? Is it completely clear? And if your intelligence is clear, you say, yes. See, right? Because you've just that. It's just that. I can't use any more words. It's just very clear. Third type of intelligence. And you see all those three, quick, sharp, clear, they're up on the top of the pyramid. And as we are engaging in these Vipassana practices over the last several days, we're just dancing around on the top of the pyramid. And it's no wonder if you feel a little bit tense, a bit high-strung, a bit tight as a result of doing that practice. And this is why shamatha comes first, and this is why he said now multiple times, from the state of equipoise, then you go into Vipassana caves again and again, that this is really yogi's route. There are many, many texts in all schools of Tibetan Buddhism and among the great pundits of India, where they'll teach Madhyamaka, and they never say that. It just doesn't come up. And from the state of meditative equipoise, they're going into all of the philosophical analysis and differences of one school and another school and so forth and so on. All that has a place. But here he is, this is a short text, I mean, some of Tsongkhapa's works are massive, like 400 pages, just unpacking Madhyamaka, let alone the many other great scholars. But this, as we see, he said everything he wanted to say in his root text and commentary, and they're both very short. This is the yogi's route. This is the yogi's route. Where instead of spending 10 or 15, 20 years on the debating courtyard and memorizing texts and debating them and studying and learning, you take just enough of the theoretical learning to put it right into practice, and it brings about the same result. So the fourth one, though, is profound intelligence, zapa. And that's the one that really brings about very deep transformation. To my mind, it's my interpretation. The first three are kind of preparation for that. Because if you never get to the profound one, then it doesn't sink in. It's like a drip feed of water. It doesn't get down to the deepest roots. It doesn't transform your way of viewing reality. And if it doesn't, then it didn't work. If your perspective on reality doesn't shift as a result of your hearing, thinking, and meditating on emptiness and dependent origination, if it doesn't shift the way you view yourself, your mind, your body, the environment, other people, it didn't work, right? Because it's in that shift of view, assuming umettawa, the middle view, the centrist view, the Madhyamaka view, that's what really brings about very deep change and liberation. So, we've had a lot of yang in the afternoons, a lot of yang, a lot of kind of pushy, you know, as well as intellectually challenging, I think, topics when we're bringing together quantum cosmology and so forth and so on. Maybe it's time to balance out a little bit. So please find a comfortable position. We'll do something a little bit different.